So I've come back a little bit early because I couldn't miss out on this opportunity. Today we face 4th and 5th in the table, while we currently sit in 3rd, just 3 points out of the automatic promotion spots. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 46 of One Team, One Dream, Into the Woods. My name is James, and on today's episode, we have those two matches. Firstly, we face 5th place Walsall, followed by 4th place Sunderland. Now, the original scheduled episode will actually be the next episode, so that will include the Carabao Cup game against Leeds United. If we look at the schedule since the last episode, there's only been 3 games. We had the 2-2-1 wins on the last episode against Sheffield Wednesday in the Carabao Cup, and then against Salford in the league. We sadly then lost 1-0 away against relegation-threatened Blackpool, who are currently 20th in the table. However, followed that up with 2 massive wins, one against Shrewsbury and one against Peterborough, who at the time were where we currently sit, 3rd place in the table. Peterborough have now dropped down to 6th place, behind Sunderland and Walsall, who we face today. 7 wins, no draws, 4 losses, and 21 points is more than I really could have expected going into this season, especially when we were 101 to go up. We were expected to be 3rd bottom in the table. Now, we do have a long way to go. This is by no means the home straight, but what a start that we've had. And I think any results on in today's matches will go a long way to keeping us here. But other than that, there is no other news. Obviously, only having been a couple of games since the last episode. The only things of note would be that we have offered a new contract to John Yeats. I'm not sure if I can view the contract we've offered him, but it would extend his contract by an additional year. Plus, we'd have an optional year extension that we can trigger on that as well. So in theory, it would then be a 5-year contract, adding 2 years onto his current deal. He does get, I think, triple the salary that he's on now, going up to about £1,500 a week. But he is now a 3.5-star player out of 5 stars, expected to be a championship striker in the future. And he's already on 9 goals from 8 games and 14 goals in 12 overall this season. So I'm happy to throw a bit of money at Yeats to keep him at the club. There's nobody showing interest in him at the moment, but I'd rather get him tied down while there is no distractions. So this is the team for the first match as we face Walsall at home. We are pretty much back to a full strength side at this point, with Huddart in goal, a back four, Devine, Tricker, Kirk and Charles, Adebayo and Andy in central midfield, Fagan, Alabiosu are the wide men, and Yeats and Taylor Crossdale are up front. I am trialing for the time being Fagan out wide on that left-hand side. He hasn't scored many so far this season, and I thought maybe putting him on that left-hand side, maybe he can try and create a little bit more for the 2 guys in front of him. Also gets all 3 of them into the side, which I really, really want. And we have a highlight after 7 minutes. Devine with the throw-in out wide to Fagan. Pass it inside to Andy. Andy looking for opportunity out wide. Manages to find Alabiosu. With the player on the overlap, Alabiosu, they managed to find a little bit of space to go back his man. Charles has now got the ball, but he is being jockeyed though. Has to go all the way back to Kirk. I'm not sure if that was quite necessary, but he was receiving a little bit of pressure from the Walsall defender. Back with Charles in a little bit more space. Taylor Crossdale, who's free in the area. First shot, goalkeeper saves it. Second shot, Taylor Crossdale puts it in for his 8th goal of the season. I felt this a little bit last year in the second half of the season when Yeats came in to replace the injured Fagan, that it was going to be a battle for top goal scorer between Taylor Crossdale and Yeats, and the two seem to have carried on this year. Taylor Crossdale got off to a bit of a quiet start, but he has definitely managed to get into his stride now. And we had a corner here. Unfortunately, it was cleared. And Hardy is now running forward for Walsall, straight from our own corner in the penalty area. Adebayo puts in a tackle and has conceded a penalty. Luckily, I don't think he was sent off. I think the double jeopardy rule is still in place. But Hardy steps up in front of Huddart. Huddart goes the wrong way. And as easy as that, from our own corner, we have gifted Walsall the goal to get them back into this game, because there is no way, with the players streaming back, there's no way that guy had an opportunity to score from there. But Adebayo unfortunately puts in the reckless tackle, and it makes it Boreham 1, Walsall 1. And we have a throw in out on wide with Devine to Fagan to Yeats. Can we go ahead again? Yeats on the edge of the penalty area looking for a bit of space. Manages to find it. All he needed was that little inch of space. Goalkeeper manages to get a hand to it by looks of it, but Yeats slotted it into the bottom corner. Devine with the throw in to Fagan. Nicely headed to Yeats. Yeats on the edge of the penalty, just looking for that little gap, deflects actually off of the defender into the back of the net. Yeats won't care. Fagan gets his assist and is already showing that he might be able to be more effective out on that left-hand side. And from a free kick, almost straight away, yet again, we get pegged back by Walsall. That's really unfortunate for Huddart. He managed to get to the first one. I think he got a touch to it off the crossbar. No one reacted quickly enough, though. Carroll for Walsall reacted quickest. Puts it into an open net to make it 2-2. And at half-time, what a first half that was. Walsall come in really looking the stronger of the two for the, if we look at the XG rating of 1.83, they're closer to their 2 goals than we are. We are absolutely dominating possession, but defensively, we are struggling today. And based on the ratings, it seems to be down that left-hand side that is the problem. I'm going to point the finger. I'm going to say not happy with the performance out there. As much as the strikers are doing their bit, defensively, we need to be stronger. And sooner rather than later, if Tricker continues to play poorly, I may be taking him off and bringing on Masterson, who is on the bench waiting to come on, who's already clamouring for more game time, and I'm happy to give it to him if he's willing to put in the performances. Huddart with the ball to Kirk. Back to Huddart. Looking for an opportunity. Hoofs it forward. Looking for Alabiosi. Manages to find him. Unfortunately, can't find Taylor Crossdale. And Walsall going to look to come forward. Down that right-hand side. Shipley with the ball. Tries to put a cross in, but Charles manages to deflect it. Andy passes to him, who managed to clear it. That was an awful clearance there by Charles. And as easy as that, we are now 3-2 down. All of our own making today. All of our own making. We've conceded the penalty. We weren't quickest from the free kick. And here, Charles not only made the mistake, but didn't follow his man when the ball came back in again. And I think even earlier on, I don't want to see it for a third time. This early on, we're going to have to be making some substitutions, I think. We've got the ball straight from the kickoff. Hopefully, this is us pegging them back this time. Passing it around the defence. Tricker tips it forward. Yeats, you're not going to be able to find Yeats from there. Tricker with a header again, but we do lose out again. Tricker again with the huge ball forward. This time managed to find Crossdale. Yeats has got the ball, though. He is through one-on-one. There we go. Yeats gets his 16th goal of the season in all competitions, which this early on in the season is absolutely crazy. It's such a shame that defensively we've been poor today, because going forward we have been really good. Crossdale brings it down. Yeats jumps over the flailing tackle, slots it past the goalkeeper to make it 3-3. Right, it is substitute o'clock, and it is time, I think, to make some changes. Devine is having a poor game, so I'm going to bring on Thompson for him. I'm also going to take Tricker off, and I'm going to bring Masterson on, if anything, just to make a statement. And do you know what? I'm going to make 3 early substitutions. Take off Fagan. Fagan apparently isn't playing very well either, even though he did provide the assist in the first half. And we'll bring on Robson on that left-hand side, switching him to an inverted winger, his preferred position. Right, we have a corner with Thompson whipped into the centre. No one there. Nielsen easily manages to clear it. And McDonald is first to collect to the ball. Why nobody was chasing down that ball when it was cleared, I don't know. This is exactly the same thing that happened early on in the game. Luckily, we managed to get the tackle in, but only as far as another Walsall player. Chip back in. Thompson manages to clear it. We cannot defend to save our lives in this game. McDonald has the ball, this time in the penalty area. I thought Thompson had just given away another penalty. Yeats this time manages to get to Crossdale. Crossdale, though, his deflected header, unfortunately, there's no one further in front of him, so not able to get to anyone. This is table tennis stuff, back and forth at the moment. Yeats manages to collect the ball from Robson in the penalty area. Robert, so in goal for Walsall, is equal to it. And coming into injury time, I think this is going to be it, but Walsall have a free kick whipped into the centre. I do not believe it. In the 93rd minute, we concede from another set piece. McDonald whips it in. No one was marking that guy. I have no idea who was meant to be marking him in that area, but that is disgusting. For how well we played going forward, we were disgraceful at the back. We handed Walsall that loss. I felt we were the better team in that game. The XG doesn't necessarily show it, but with the opportunities we've given them, it's not surprising they've got a high XG. I mean, I thrashed my arms. Far from pleased with that result. We should have had that one in the bag. And yet we're looking down the barrel of a 4-3 loss. Well, talk about coming down to earth with a bump. Hopefully we can do better against Sunderland. Well, this is a bonus I didn't realise was going to come up. The FA Cup first round draw is today. Obviously, I'm not going to take you through the entire draw bit by bit. But what I will do is I will jump in when we get drawn just to see who we could be facing in the Cup and see if we can try and get another Cup run going as we have done with the Carabao Cup. So we have been drawn away at either FC Halifax or Alfreton. So that is a fairly favourable draw. When do they play that match? They play that match on the 23rd of October, so in 2 days' time. So we'll find out who it does. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. FC Halifax would obviously be the slightly more difficult challenge, being a Vanarama national side, but surely we should be able to beat either of those teams. So here we are for the second game as we go away to Sunderland, to the Stadium of Light. 2 changes from the previous match. Masterson comes in for Tricker after he had a poor game in the last game, so he drops to the bench. Adebayo takes up the captaincy band for this match. And unfortunately, Shea Charles has also picked up a knock, so he's out for a couple of days. And Hosanna comes in for him. However, we've seen both of those players show their abilities this season, and I'm confident that both can come in and do a shift, even if it is against a team such as Sunderland. So the media are predicting that we will lose comfortably in this game. Based on the last match, I sadly agree with them, but hopefully we can showcase a little bit of fight in this game. And we've shown we can score. We just need to try and be a little bit better at defending, and hopefully we can showcase that in this match. But Sunderland have the first highlight with a throw-in on the right-hand side. Neil with the ball now, looking to try and get across into the centre to Farrington. Farrington's in the penalty area, back to Neil, but Devine manages to clear it. Crossdale puts Yeats through. Yeats, this is where he is dangerous. He's in loads of space. The goalkeeper's come out to try and meet him. Can he put it past him? The goalkeeper did enough just to put him off. And unfortunately, Yeats couldn't put it on target. Alabiosu with a throw-in on the right-hand side. Back to Rossiter. Back to Alabiosu. To Hannah. Oh, Hosanna, sorry, not Hannah. Hosanna whips it into the centre, looking for Crossdale. Fortunately, it swung too close to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper clears it for Sunderland, looking for their striker. We managed to clear it only as far as Bowie for Sunderland, who looked to come forward again. To Berry, to Neil, to Cox. He's got a person out wide. Bowie has managed to walk straight through our defence. Chivers whips it into the centre. Masterson manages to clear it. Unfortunately, there's no one out there, though, and Sunderland managed to keep the ball. Luckily, the highlight ends there. Huddart with a free kick in our half. Goes short to Kirk. Back to Huddart. That was a little bit of an iffy one as well. Out wide to Hosanna. Don't think Huddart was actually expecting that. Hosanna tries to chip it forward. Try looking for Crossdale. We lose out yet again, and Sunderland now going to come forward with the ball. We've seen what they can do so far, and we've seen that they can pass their way through our defence. Marriott with the ball now. Chips out wide. Devine manages to clear it, though. To Yeats. Can Yeats go past his man? He easily does, and he is stripped through the defence. Unfortunately, he stumbled and they managed to get back. So we managed to keep the ball, though, to Alabiosu. Nice 1-2 with Crossdale. Back to Alabiosu, who's in the penalty area. Is he going to take a shot himself? He hits the crossbar. Alabiosu from quite a tight angle and round the defender manages to hit the crossbar. We come so close, probably the closest so far, I'd say, to scoring in this match. Right, Sunderland have a free kick just for half-time. We've been here before with free kicks in injury time. Hopefully we manage to do better with this one. Flynn out looking over the ball for Sunderland. Goes round the wall. Huddart managed to save onto the crossbar yet again. Luckily, though, this time Kirk has learnt from his mistake in the previous game. And he manages to get there first and clears the ball. And coming into half-time, a very edgy first half. Very similar first half it felt to the previous match. Just minus the goals, but still very even. All to play for in this game. Sunderland have a throw-in straight away on a highlight. Whipped into the centre. Devine manages to clear it as far as Robson. Can Robson do something with it now? He manages to find Yeats, who's in a little bit of space. They are not marking Yeats as well as Walsall did in the previous game. Unfortunately, he has one bad touch too many. We have a free kick with Devine. I'm going to encourage the players, just as we're coming up the 59th minute, Masterson clears it forward. Presumably trying to look for Robson, but Robson was not that far forward. And we managed to lose the ball yet again to Sunderland. And this is exactly the same story that happened in the previous match. The defenders are hoofing it forward to absolutely nobody. We are supposed to be playing short passing game. And we've been punished yet again because of poor passing from our defence. Why our defence are hoofing it forward when we're meant to be playing short passing? Bowie with the ball there, puts it through. O'Brien. Yet again, I know it's Hosanna rather than Charles, but yet again our right back is not following his man. I think it is time to make some substitutions. I'm actually going to switch this role to being a deep-lying playmaker on defend. I'm going to take Rossiter off. I'm going to bring on Mundell. One of his first appearances this season. Maybe I need to try and provide a bit more of a creative outlet for the defenders, because as you can see on here, we're meant to be playing shorter passing, play out of defence, and at a much lower tempo. Why Masterson and Kirk are hoofing it forward, trying to look for these guys here. And we have a highlight. Sunderland, though, have the ball in our half. Devine manages to clear the ball, looking for Yeats. Unfortunately, we lose the ball yet again. Yet again, I get the fact they're trying to clear the ball, but we are losing out so often to Sunderland by frivolously clearing the ball upfield, and they're just marking our strikers out of the game. Sunderland have a corner, whipped into the centre. Flanagan there with the header. Huddart, though, manages to collect it, and that ends the highlight. But straight away, we have given a free kick away in a very dangerous area. Flynn to take the free kick, chips it round the wall into the bottom corner, and as simple as that, game over. I know we came into this game, the media were not expecting us to get any result at all today, and I know we're expected to be in a relegation battle this season, but we've been gutless in this game today. We really have. Hosanna is having a terrible game. I presume he's the one that gave away the free kick. Unfortunately, there's nobody to come on for him. However, Alibiosu is going to have to drop back into that role, and I'm going to bring Daly on, play him as an inside forward on attack, add an extra attacking body on the field, and I am going to take Yeats off this time and bring on Fagan for the final change. Huddart has a goal kick, passes it to Kirk. Kirk back to Huddart. Huddart starts with the ball, hoofing it forward. Managed to find Taylor Crossdale. Daly with his first touch. Can he find Hosanna on the overlap? Not Hosanna, it's Alibiosi on the overlap now, isn't it? Daly managed to get the ball back, looking to bring it inside to Adebayi, to Robson. Robson back out wide to Alibiosi, who's in loads of space. Can he find a cross? Whips it into the centre to Robson, into the top corner. Goalkeeper manages to get a hand to it, but it can't stop it going in. And that is much more like it. Robson chips out wide to Alibiosi, who's in loads of space. He's actually further forward than he was when he was playing as a winger, but even though he's now playing as a wing-back. Back to Robson again. Fantastic 1-2. What a long 1-2 that was. But managed to get a goal back. And straight away, we have another highlight from the kickoff. And all of a sudden, we're looking like we are a little bit more in this game than we were before. Sunderland hopefully are feeling a little bit rattled as they come forward with the ball. Whipped out wide. O'Brien has managed to do Alibiosi really easy there, but Mundell manages to collect the loose ball to Daly. Over the top to Taylor Crossdale. What a ball over the top. Can he put it past the goalkeeper? 9th goal of the season for Martel Taylor Crossdale. And in 10 minutes, we have managed to pull it even to 2-2. Don't even know what phrase pull it even means, but we have managed it. We have managed to draw level against Sunderland. What a turnaround in the last 10 minutes, and what a change a couple of substitutions managed to make. I'm going to encourage the player as well, but we have a corner with Devine. Can we complete the turnaround? Daly is quickest to manage to collect the loose ball, chips it forward. Unfortunately, there's nobody there, so Webb manages to clear it, but only as far as Daly. Back into the centre. A spectacular Hollywood save by Bannon, the Sunderland goalkeeper there, to collect the ball. He hoofs it forward this time to O'Brien, who's been a thorn in our side all day, and he's looking out wide to try and find his man, but Devine manages to collect the ball. Back to Huddart, to Kirk. Now is not the time to be playing short passing games in defence when they've been pressed by Sunderland. Robson with the ball to Adebayi. Chips it forward to Fagan. Back to Robson. We are playing much better football now. As I say that, as we manage to lose the ball. And Bowie comes forward for Sunderland. It is goal end-to-end stuff at the moment. Farrington into the centre. Deflection. I no idea who that was off. But Flynn is quickest on the deflection into the back of the net. And that's so deflating. O'Brien chips the ball out wide to Farrington. Farrington hoofs the ball into the centre. O'Brien with the first shot deflects off of one of our players into the path of Flynn, who no one really could do anything about that at all. And sadly, that is probably the wind out of our sails. Sunderland have a free kick though. Luckily we managed to clear it this time. Diallo with the ball. To Bowie looking to come forward again. Chips to back. O'Brien is yet again free in space. Mundell, though, manages to find the loose pass. And can we counter-attack here? Daly with the ball. He's been done really well since he's come on. To Taylor Crossdale. To Fagan. Fagan smashes it into the top corner for only his 3rd goal of the season. But boy, has he made that one count. I said that Daly had been doing really well since he'd come on. He has been really integral in terms of our chances. Taylor Crossdale, unselfishly, sees Fagan in space. And Fagan, who came on for Yeats, who's had a poor game, does what Yeats couldn't do in this game, which is put it into the back of the net with only a couple of minutes left to play. And I will take a draw in this game. It does mean we drop out of the playoffs. But after that game, I will take a draw. Midfield, I think, struggled in that game, but we did fiddle around with it a little bit with some of the positions. But what a second half compared with the first half. Well, unsurprisingly, that was a really tough episode, but if you did enjoy it, please give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to be reminded of brand new FM21 videos from me as we continue our first season in the Sky Bet League One. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.